Wait, did they take your watch too, Skeeter and Julia? Like, oh my God.
Yeah. I had a tattoo one on me.
I guess so.
Welcome back to the Stargate Files, everybody. We are wrapping up the Showtime era, season 5 of Stargate SG-1. Most people would recognize this from like syndication or the Sci-Fi Channel, but this originally aired on the Showtime pay channel network, and man, right at the end. Oh my God. And boy, I think we lost a co-host somewhere along the way or two.
Yeah. When we're going through the show here, what happened?
So special shout out to ABF, who is getting married as of tomorrow. So good job, buddy. You and Jess, you have a very nice wedding. I will see you both on Saturday for your reception, which is a separate day, but you both enjoy that. And congratulations to both of you. And Dave, congratulations on being sick. Skeeter did this a couple weeks ago, and you know what? We got to complete the trifecta at some point. One of these days, I guess I'll get sick and I won't be here, and Skeeter will have to take over, and it's going to be all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun show.
It's going to be a fun show. I thought about being like, hey, Dave, you changed into a more attractive woman form. Instead of the normal avatar that we have for Dave, but without the beard. But Julia, thank you for joining us. Great to have you with us on this. I know this is your first time with us, but if you want to let everybody know, like some of the things you do on Twitter or you do in your free time, and then we're gonna hit you up on what got you into Stargate.
Okay. Well, I live in a small rural southern New Mexico village, and I play music for fun and a living right now. I've been doing that for about 10 years, but I've done a lot of different things over the years. I came here to New Mexico to work with an archaeology firm, and I did that for 2 years as their office manager and a report technician. And then I got into music. No, but it's an interesting overlap. Interesting overlap.
Stargate.
Oh yeah, and yeah. So I've been in New Mexico for I don't know since 2010. But been around all over. I've lived in a lot of different places. I've had an interesting life. I had an outdoor outfitting business with my husband in Grand Staircase, Escalante in Escalante, Utah for 6 years in the early 2000s. And did that. That was super cool. Anyway, worked at Grand Canyon for a couple of years before that. So I've done a lot of different kinds of things in my life, and I'm just kind of checking the boxes. I'm trying to, but Stargate definitely has kind of been one of my go-to favorite. I can rewatch it over and over and over again. Things over all years and all the different places I've lived. So fantastic show, great writing. Man, they're the writers are just amazing. It's not something that I don't know. It's just I can't explain it. I just have really come to really love all of the shows. Definitely.
Have you been a fan from the word go? Were you a fan of the movie or were you a fan of the TV show?
Yes. So I went to see the movie at the theater when it came out many moons ago and loved it. And, you know, got on with my life, met my husband, moved away from Kansas City, went to go be an outdoor 4x4 guide at Grand Canyon with him. And then for 2 years, and then we went to Escalante and started our own business in the early 2000s. And, after the news was on at night, in 10:30, your news would be over, and then a show would come on. And the show we happened to catch was Stargate SG-1. And sometimes they wouldn't play them in order. They didn't play them in order that I was aware of. But if it was a 1 or 2-parter, they keep those together and play the second part the next night. So we started getting into watching it back in the day before streaming, when it would be on after the news. And, we didn't miss it. And that's when I started watching it, was in the, 2001.
Okay.
And then I know it's a very long time ago. And then fast forward many years, when we got to New Mexico, streaming started to be a thing about 2012. It started to become a big thing in 2013. And then Stargate SG-1 was somewhere out there. I think it was Netflix, and I rewatched the whole thing from the pilot all the way through season 10 and really got into it. And then, over the years since then, I've watched it 4 times all the way through. And then I found Atlantis and watched that I don't know. I just finished my 5th all the way through watching. So can't help it. And then after that, I just watched Universe for the 4th time. But I hadn't watched any of the shows in about 4 or 5 years. So it was when I got the news that Martin Garrow was bringing Stargate back, I got really excited, and I was like, oh yeah, well, looks like he worked a lot on Atlantis. So I'm just going to rewatch that and kind of get a feel for, maybe what's in store for us. And I am very excited about the new Stargate show coming, because Atlantis still holds up. It still holds up. Yeah. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what Martin has in store for us. It's been a very long time since I've rewatched Atlantis. Usually on my rewatches, it's just Stargate. And I usually taper off because it's oh, I'll just finish up SG-1 and then I'll hit Atlantis, and then I never hit Atlantis.
I hit Atlantis hard and rewatched it pretty quick. And, I was really excited to see Martin Garrow's name on so many credits. And because then I was like, this new season's going to be fire. This new show's going to be great. I don't know what they have, what their idea is, and then I was like, well, since I got Universe here, I can get that done pretty quick. It's only 2 seasons. I'll just go ahead and watch that one. So now I gotta get back into SG-1. But I studied for this evening's shows, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we got a doozy or so. Especially this season.
I swear, out of all of our guests, I am the only one that watched it from day one on Showtime.
Yep.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I literally, a couple weeks before I got cable, and I slipped our cable guy, I can't remember if it was 20 or 50, to throw Showtime on for free. Back then, it was just a screw-on attachment to unlock it. So, he's like, yeah, I can do that for you. No problem. He goes, anything else? I'm like, well, HBO would be nice too. And he's like, okay, I'll put that on there too. I'm like, okay, cool. So
back when that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing, when everything was going through the cable, and then they had a scrambler code, and these scramblers screwed onto your cable box outside your house. And it was just like a metal shaft, like this big. And, you just screwed onto the box, they screwed on your cable, then you had that channel. And then if you wanted more, they kept adding them on. They had 4 of them. So, so I was watching it since day one.
You're the OG. All right.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I had to wait a whole week for an episode.
Yeah.
Free Showtime weekend for me when I first tried it. And I'm like, this ain't for me. It took me a few more years to get around to it.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know if I could wait. I'm just so grateful for the streaming services. I know that there's
Mhm.
pluses and minuses, but
Yeah.
man, when I'm into a show, I want to
Yep.
keep going. I don't know. That's just
Mhm.
me and a bunch of other people.
Stargate is kind of a binge-worthy show.
Yeah.
Based on
Oh,
what we're doing, it's like I can't help myself. I end up watching. I'm already halfway through season 6, and I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to rewatch episodes as we come up
yeah.
to them in our show.
Yep.
Season 6 is a good one because we get
Mhm.
our Jonas Quinn character, which is very interesting. There's a lot
Yep.
of direction they could go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what
it's
20
everyone's telling me.
times. Yes, I could see
Mhm.
that. Yeah. I'm ready for a rewatch of season SG1. I just don't know when I'm going to get to that. I probably will
See, with
sooner
all
than
3 of my kids, I had to watch it 3 times each time. So I mean, it's
Oh
I've been.
darn!
This is like I lost
Yeah.
count how many times I've watched this, the
That's
whole
so cool. Your
series.
kids like it too. See, it's a
Yeah.
multi-generational show. I
Hmm.
love that. I
My
And
mean,
now he's
youngest one
trying
was
with
the
his
only one.
grandchild.
Yeah. Now my granddaughter loves it when the gate turns on. She gets all wide eyed and giggles, and I'm like, oh, good. I got her hooked. My wife and my daughter are like, oh, no, already? She's only
Not
6
just
months old.
again.
So, no,
yeah,
only my youngest son. He's the only one. It's like, yeah, it was okay. My older ones, they liked it. So,
Oh man.
awesome.
but now I got my
I love
granddaughter
that.
to spoil with it.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love how the show is just it gets everybody. If
Hmm.
you're into adventure, if you're into sci-fi, if you're into archaeology, or even military stuff. It's
Hmm.
like everybody. I mean, the show's for everybody. It's crazy. It's
It really
crazy good
is.
too. I like how the writers don't really dumb stuff down either. Like if
Yeah.
you're like they go into some detail about some scientific stuff and whatever. If you're curious about it, just
Hmm.
then you're like going on the internet to find out, well, what were they talking about?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that? What
My stepdad got
just
into it because the bullet count was correct. He goes, "Oh my gosh, they actually are switching clips when they run out of bullets, like
that's
Oh
to the
cool.
darn.
bullet number." He was a big time
Whoa.
shooter, so I mean, he did competition shooting. So
And
he always hated that about shows and movies where one gun, a pistol could have 30 rounds in it. He's like, no, no, don't like it. He'd
Takes me
sit and
out.
count
Yep.
bullets. Yep. So he
the
liked that. They
armor
kept
for
it in.
that show, the armor that they had for the show was
Hmm.
amazing. I'm telling you, because
Yep.
wow, some of the stuff they had. I didn't even know what a P90 was until you start watching. I'm like, that's kind of a cool thing. It has a
Hmm.
flashlight. You know, it's got a lot of
Compact
storage.
and it
Yep.
it does a great job.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it gets
that's
rid of
pretty cool.
logs.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Hmm.
And Skeeter, now that we're already talking to you already, what you
Yeah.
been up to lately? You printing anything off new?
Um.
Another 3-foot section or
Oh, I am working on a project. It's going, but it's a lot of pieces. It's going to be another big one. So not
oh
even though
boy.
like this one, I got my buddy who was going to program got sick, so I'm waiting for him to feel better so we could start programming this board for this other project I got sitting over here. But this other one I got going is pretty fitting for season 6. So
All
It,
right.
is that a 3D printer?
yeah, I got actually
He's
2 of
got
them
2 of
there.
them back there.
So
What?
oh yeah,
Sweet.
everything. I mean, I got the ships from the show, the super gate, another gate with the iris on it, and then I got everything here. I got Atlantis
Oh, the
right down
gate lamp
here,
is so, yeah, that's
and then
cool.
I got Atlantis gate lit up here. I got the Ori gate, which doesn't exist, the Zat gun, shock grenade, staff weapon, all the other gates, a replicator. I got a couple of ships. I got more up on top that you can't see too, but yeah, you can
Sweet.
see there. They're up there. So, yep,
Nice.
instead of paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for props, I just build them. So,
3D print, baby.
yeah. I mean, there's teal'c up there. I got
That's what I'm
one of
working
the
on right now.
pyramids. I got Ra's pyramid on the stand down there too, small, but yeah, I got my 3-foot Atlantis down there. So
Nice. Yeah.
yep,
I-
it's cheaper.
What,
Yeah.
cheaper
I,
than
I actually convinced Jeff to actually go get one, so he could
Yeah,
print
I'm
his own.
working on my teal'c, but somebody didn't tell me I needed to color code it, so I'm a little behind on getting it printed off. I got pieces, I gotta start putting it together soon. But today in the mail, I got a master replica of the Destiny of Stargate
Nice.
Universe, as Julian was talking
What?
about Stargate Universe. So
Yeah, he said he got a
Yeah.
package, but he didn't tell me what it was. I'm like, all right, I'll
So
wait.
so is that like a scale model of
Master
the ship?
replicas make not to scale, but they do
they're
make
kind of
everything.
mini,
Yeah, they're mini, but
Oh,
they make it super detailed, exactly
crazy
what was in the
details.
show.
Yeah.
So they are exact replicas from the show.
So when I go to print mine
Yeah.
off, when I go do a bigger model, I'm gonna be like, okay,
Yeah.
so my model is not as detailed as this thing. And
It
just
gets
to
pretty close.
put it in perspective, like this is some crazy
Mhm.
detail on here.
Yeah, I got a real small one for sitting on Atlantis. So,
wow.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
when I got the Bliskner and then Skeeter printed off his Bliskner,
Yeah.
we did a little comparison, and he's like, "Oh, you got way more detail on that
Yep.
thing than I do on mine." So I got to figure out where the hell I'm putting that in this room, though. But
Just so you know, Gene, it is paused. I paused it, so that's why. So it doesn't make too much noise. So it was making a lot of noise before the show.
mine's working on something, but it's for Brian's wedding. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so by the way, did you see? Rick wants to know: is it solar powered too? Your Destiny?
It should be, so it could stay lit up all the time.
Yeah,
I love the Destiny ship. I think it's fantastic.
it's
So
gorgeous
getting this
ship.
has been something I've been wanting for a long time, and then they finally put it out. It took like 4 months to get here, but
Mhm. That's
Does it-
like the Hammond I got up there. When I mastered replica, I was trying to find it. I was getting images
oh, those are
from the
crazy
show,
prices on that.
and yeah, so I was getting like all the images and details, and I was adding the colors to be correct and everything. I didn't do that with the Blister, which I should have, but when I print the full size O'Neill someday, I'll do that for sure.
I'm gonna
Make
do
sure
the 304
Yeah.
eventually.
Eventually, that's another. I have
That's
to
a
order
big
a lot
boy.
of silver filament or gray filament. So
Yeah, Martin Tedici has some
Yep.
awesome
amazing prints. He
models
gets
going
them very close. So
well, and there ain't too much news going on in the Stargate universe currently.
oh, actually,
they're
Gatewell just did a Martin Tashnell interview. I gotta watch that.
Wait,
Yeah.
I
what?
saw that. Yeah. Was it Gate World or Dial the Gate? I think it was Gate World.
I think it was dial the game.
Or was it Dial the Gate? One of the
It has
two
to be
guys.
because I don't see that on Gate World here.
Okay, so it must have been Dial the Gate. So I knew one of those two. I
Way
saw
to
it,
go,
and I'm like,
David.
I gotta watch that.
Now I got another one to watch.
Yeah.
But no, there's been some fun interviews lately, and
Mhm.
Darren on Gate World tends to do. Oh yeah, Stargate Tales,
Posters.
indeed. Darren likes to do his Friday afternoons with some fans and other creatives in the industry or whatnot, and I'm a moderator on over there, so that's always fun to kind of listen in while I'm doing my regular work thing. But on that note, this might be a good time to slip us into some episodes.
Yeah.
I think the big one is Meridian, everybody, where Daniel Jackson is exposed to a lethal dose of radiation while visiting an alien civilization that is building a weapon of mass destruction. All right, Darren, I'll give you this one. They're not necessarily aliens, so to speak, but they're more cousins of ours anyway. And unfortunately, this is the big episode where we lose Daniel for basically the 4th time. 1 per season seems to be the MO.
Add it to the counter.
What you
Oh,
mean?
we got a counter.
I got a
Oh.
counter. I got a counter.
I know.
Oh my god! They killed
Daniel.
Yeah, they killed Daniel again, everybody. And he ascends.
Mostly
I'm
dead.
counting that as dead though.
Yeah, his body's gone. Dead.
Because he'll die a couple more times throughout the
Mhm.
course of the show.
Yep.
But as we do with all of our episodes, Julia, on this one, what are some of your favorite moments or scenes from this one?
Probably any scene that Don S. Davis is in.
Mm.
I love General Hammond. Such a great character. And Don Davis just really made him happen. And I don't know, any scene with him, he's like very calm, but he's very, like, we got to do something. Here's what we're doing next. But, I don't know. Don. So he's kind of like the Rock in this episode. Like everybody else is kind of struggling with what's happening with Daniel, but General Hammond is kind of pulling it together. And as much as he's also upset, but yeah, I think Don S. Davis, I mean, aside from Daniel, of course, choosing to ascend. And then, of course, we have Jonas Quinn making a second. Was this his second appearance in the series? This was his first. Okay. So, love this character. Love Corin Nemec's portrayal and just everything about it, the whole lore behind the Colonans, and I'm excited that he is introduced in this way. And but kind of a downer storyline. So anyway, maybe I've said too much. The the ancient that shows up to when Daniel's hovering between life and death. Yes, that lady. Yes.
Yep.
I had to go and look up some of the stuff she was saying.
I think we all did.
The ancient haikus.
Okay, I know. And
when the candle is lit, the dinner's already cooked.
Yeah,
What
right.
the hell are you talking about, lady?
Right. If you realize the candle is fire, the meal has already been cooked.
That one I actually get.
Yeah, there's and I had to kind of go look that up, and apparently a lot of this stuff is based on Buddhist sayings called koans. There's kind of pithy, one sentence, thought-provoking things to like give you a little thought exercise. So a lot of that, yes, a lot of the things that she was saying. And I don't know, I found a lot of this part of it. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence where it comes to the ancients. Are they helping?
More in Atlantis than they are now.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion since I'm not an ancient. Anyway.
Skeeter, how about you? You got any things you like about this episode?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be long notes for everybody. I covered everything, but this I kind of went crazy on, surprisingly. And I cut it down a little, but not much because there's too much good stuff in these 2 episodes. Like this one is a very emotional episode for all the characters. I mean, it shows how close the team is to Daniel. But to make all our Walter fans out there happy, yes, Walter was in the beginning right away. But wait a minute. What's that say on his apparel there? That says Norman Davis. Yeah. Master Sergeant Norman Davis. Turns out I had to do a little digging. Walter's full name is Norman Walter Davis Harriman. Yeah,
And a partridge in a pear tree.
yeah. I mean, he's got 4 names.
Random.
It's not
Okay.
unusual. I mean, I do know people with 4 names, but I mean, that's Walter's full name. Now you know is Norman Walter Davis Harriman or Harriman. It's Harriman. Yeah.
Well, and going back to what is it, 2010,
Yeah.
where Jack's just like,
Well,
Walter? That kind of makes sense now. Like, wait, what's your name again?
Rick. Maybe. We don't know.
Es posible.
We don't judge. See?
Yo hablo un poquito.
Yeah, we got Janet back. She's really she's struggling with this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, then we got the picture of Klonoa, which
Looks
is a
like
real
San
city.
Francisco.
It is actually a real city. This is out in British Columbia, Canada, and the town really is called Klonoa. So they're real Klonoans on our
Whoa.
planet. They're in British Columbia.
Well, welcome to Canada.
Yeah.
You can enjoy their health care and the taxes that come with that.
Yeah.
I saw that name on the map and I was like, is that the same name as Jonas Quinn's planet or continent? I mean, I saw that the other day, like looking at something else. I don't know what the weather or something. And so now I know. Thanks, Skeeter. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's part of Canada. They're Canadians. It explains why
I
they're
did not
behind the
know that either.
technology. Oh, there went all our Canadian viewers. Sorry. No. But then, yeah, we get Jonas Quinn for the very first time. Played by my
Perfect hair
man.
and everything.
Yep. Played by my man, Corin Nemec, who I've loved watching since way back. Let me tell you what he's been in. He's been in Palace of Bones, I Feel Fine, Supernatural. Yeah, my wife really loved that when we watched Supernatural. I'm like, it's Jonas. It's Jonas. Yeah, she didn't like that. He's been in Haunted 333. And something I got to listen to. I don't know if you've heard of this, Jeff. He was on the MacGyver SG1 audio series. I've never heard of this. I just
but I've heard of Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Yes,
and The Last Starfighter.
Yep, he was on Last Starfighter. Yep,
he was in The Last Starfighter. He's one of the kids running around in the parking lot of the trailer park.
Yep,
he
Star
was
Trek,
also in
Star Trek Renegades, and a ton of other movies and shows. But we most remember him from Parker Lewis Can't Lose, or when he played Nicky Papalopoulos on Webster, which I remember him from. That was him, Little Nicky from Webster. So, yeah, we're trying to get him on the show. We had some audio issues, so hopefully we'll get him. Scheduling problem, but
one of these days we'll get him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yep, Just JK. Yep, remembers him from Webster.
I do not remember him from Webster, and I watched that damn show.
Nicky Papadopoulos. That's who he played. He was in a lot of episodes. He was also Tucker.
I don't know. Maybe he got really busy working, and they asked him to come back a couple of times for Stargate, but he never really could because he was so busy.
Well, we have our theories too, and we Jeff and I both agree he should have went to Atlantis.
Yep,
I think so. Oh gosh,
perfect for the show.
That would have elevated a lot of different things.
Yep.
Would have made sense.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff, as fans, we always look at it and go, well, why didn't they do, this is one of them. That is definitely that's definitely.
Yeah, he was on 3 episodes of Supernatural, Rick. So he wasn't on a continuing character, but he did show up 3 episodes. Then, the way Jonas, when he first sees teal'c, and he's just pointing to his forehead and pointing at teal'c,
yes.
What? What's that? That was pretty funny. Then, we meet Thomas. Yep. Played by David. I'm going to mess this up. Teal'c. He's been in the Doctor Who movie Drive. She Said, Lost Luchadors, The X-Files. Yeah. Northern Exposure, and The Commish. Also a bunch of Hallmark shows because he's a Vancouver actor.
The commish.
So,
Okay, that is where I recognize him from more
yeah,
than
he was
anything
in
else.
that quite a bit. So,
All right.
X-Files, he was in a couple episodes. Northern Exposure, a few. But the other ones were movies. So, yeah, then we learned about this new material called Nequadia or Nequadria.
Yep.
And it's more powerful than Nequita. And I'm still trying to figure out if it's a solid or a liquid. Because
Right.
when the generator core went into it, I was like, well, it seems liquid that way, but later on
Well,
he
it could
brings a
just
box
be,
of it.
right. It could be one of those metals where, as it's heated or,
Yeah, like mercury.
Right. It gets
Um,
drippy or something.
Yeah. Well, Daniel
Something that
learns. Yeah.
the writers could definitely go down that rabbit hole. I mean, well, the whole time I was watching Stargate Universe, I was thinking, where's that Jonas Quinn with some Quadria? Maybe we could hook that up to a gate and get these people home.
Mhm.
But maybe season 3. We never got one though.
Yeah. We also get Daniel learning that the Gould were trying to build the same bomb and almost blew up the whole planet in the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jack's true feelings about Daniel comes up, showing how it is a true friendship between them, even though they give each other hard times.
That
Joe,
is heartbreaking. in
that was
this.
tough. I'll go through that when we get the lines.
Yeah.
Jonas shows he's not too sure about his government, but he can't tell the truth to his people or to protect his people. Then he changes his mind later. Then, yeah, we got Sam getting the hand device trying to help out Daniel, but she doesn't know how to really use it. And
For
so
like
you
the
know,
last time she ever tries this.
yeah, and so you know, Sam's safe combination is 91837. So if you need to get in, if you ever get in a Stargate Command and you figure out where her safe is, you could get that.
Or
Just
you
with
crack
that code.
into her house or something.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I know Jack O'Neill will not be happy when he knows I know combinations to Sam stuff. So
Test
sorry,
your luck
Jack
with Jack.
and Sam.
Oh.
We'll see you next time you're on.
Yep.
Then, yeah, we meet Oma DeSala, played by Mel Harris. She's been in K9 with James Belushi, 30-something. I remember her from The Page Master.
I remember her from 30-something, actually.
Yep,
with Peter Horton.
Raising Cain. I when I saw it, then it clicked.
Oh, yeah.
Then it clicked once I saw the name. She was in Queen of Knives and Kings of Knives, Imposters, Sinners, or Saints and Sinners, and Something So Right, just to name a few. She's in 3 episodes for SG1. So we see her one more time here.
She goes toe to toe with Anubis.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next time we see her.
Yep. So, or wait a minute, it is 2 more times because the original Oma wasn't the same lady.
Correct.
Yeah, we see her showing up to help Daniel to learn how to ascend. Jonah showing up to the SGC with the Nequadria after realizing how dangerous it is and how his government reacted in excitement instead of fear. Daniel and Jonas talking about what is happening out there and what really happened in the lab. We find out that was kind of a cool scene. And then, yeah, let's talk about Daniel real quick.
He emptied a clip.
Who the hell taught Daniel how to shoot? Or did he just forget how to shoot? I mean,
and he's flinching.
Form and flinching. I mean, yeah, it's a small area. I cannot talk now. The sound hitting so hard in that little space, yeah, it'll make you flinch. I know that because I've done that before. But it's really bad form. It's like he's never shot a gun before. He should know boom, 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 take two hands
Both
instead of
hands.
this
Mm.
one hand and the other one like it makes noises. No, this is not Daniel. I don't know what the heck happened here.
Should have just given him a Zach gun.
Yeah, 3 times to the glass would be gone.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Just saying.
Mhm. Yeah, and I was also shocked to see that teal'c was the last one to come to talk to Daniel on his deathbed there. But yeah, this scene, Daniel showing Jack he's ready to ascend with Oma. It was a very touchy scene. It still gets me to tears watching this episode at the end. And then finally, yeah, we see Daniel ascend, and the whole crew just shocked at what's going. And they did an amazing job. You see this glowing light coming around him, and if you watch the bed, it slowly deflates as more light fills up. You can see the bed just deflating. They did an amazing job to have that on, like that. I mean, every detail. It wasn't like there's a body, now it's flat. They didn't switch screens, nothing, or camera angle. I mean, so yeah. But that's what I had for good scenes and who we get to see in this episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of love and care put into this episode, more than you would think.
Way
But they
more.
appreciated Michael Shanks's run on the show, and him leaving the show was tough for a lot of them.
Mhm.
And I feel like the one-on-one scenes was giving, like, Amanda, Jack, and Christopher, and basically everybody a chance to say their goodbye. Because at this point, they might have known they were going to get another season, but it was moving to another network.
Mhm.
But they also
right.
would have been in between where they didn't know, and they thought, well, season 5's ending anyway, so
Right.
well, if we are getting another season, this is a good chance for us to say
Mhm.
our goodbyes. And like just watching each of them go through their own individual goodbye scenes was touching. Like Amanda
Mhm.
was great. Christopher was like, oh damn, you're starting to hit the feels here. And then you get to Jack.
Mhm.
And Jack takes kind of the bulk of it, because that's
Mhm.
basically how the movie starts. And they even have this line later
yeah.
on. So we'll see you around. And when we get to lines, I'm going to play the clip. I have that. But
Mhm.
when he does that, that goes right back to the original movie where
Yep.
Jack's going back to Earth and says, we'll see you around.
Yeah.
So it's almost a play on
Mhm.
that, and a return to, like, the cycle goes around, and just the performances in this are outstanding. The special effects are great. They're even better in the next episode. But
Mhm.
when this show carries so much weight is when this pulls through into the season finale, and
Yeah.
everybody is still dealing with the ramifications. Whereas in other shows, they kind of move on. You can look at
Mhm.
Star Trek The Next Generation. You can
Yeah.
look at like DS9. Somebody dies, oh, an episode or two later, hey, we're kind of back to normal. In the
Mhm.
next one, it's like, no, we have to push forward. We
Mhm.
all miss him, but we have
Mhm.
jobs to do here. This story is not done. Our jobs are not done. And just my favorite moments of this are all the character moments. And then you
Mhm.
bring in Jacob at the
Yeah.
very end to be like,
Mhm.
okay, we have a chance to save him. And
Mm.
no.
I
And
don't
then
want
you
to be
got
saved.
Oma Dasala, you're tying back into Keb and everything from before. And like,
Yeah.
there's so many different things going on that you don't really realize how little Michael is actually in this episode.
Mhm.
Because he's wrapped up in bandages and they only need him for like maybe like 2 or 3 days. And it's like, bro, did you really have to dip out that quick?
Yeah.
Leaving the show? But even under bandages with him still there, he still put on a phenomenal performance, and he
Mhm.
went out like a champ.
Yeah.
And him just at the very end realizing, this is my time. It's time for a new journey. Maybe I can do more doing this other thing. I don't know what's in store for me. And that's kind of what the movie started with. Like, you don't know where you're going when you open up this Stargate. and it's like another step on the journey for Daniel. It's like you not knowing like if we were going to get like another season 6 or 7, or if they were going to do potentially like a spin-off and give him a chance to be like, hey, this is a new journey for you, Daniel.
Mhm.
It's his time to shine. Who knows? I don't think we're ever going to get that, but Daniel's carried on for years and decades at this
Mhm.
point as a character. And him coming back is, even in bits and pieces in season 6, is when he comes back for those 2 or 3 episodes, it's like, oh, damn. It hits you in the feels, and then he returns to the show properly in season 7. But I really also like Jonas Quinn here.
Yeah.
This is a good start for him to be like, hey, we got somebody new coming into this show, and he ditches his own people, basically finding a safe harbor to join us, give us some of that Nequadria that we will definitely make use of. And he does such a great performance that I feel like that gets lost because we're all worried. Everybody ever remembers of this episode is Daniel dies.
Mhm.
And he leaves the show. Michael Shanks leaves the show, yada, yada, yada. But you got Corin Nemec totally stepping up like a champ.
Yeah.
And it's like, this dude can act too. And he's the right kind of, if you're going to do something like this, this was the right way to do it.
Mhm.
You're not replacing Daniel. You're presenting somebody new to carry the mantle of Daniel while he does his own journey. And if that works in conjunction with storylines going forward, that's fantastic. But I think Corin does a fantastic job. And I think he carries through season 6 just fine. And when him and Daniel are in scenes together, those two have this fantastic chemistry of like, I could see something fun here. And we get to that at the end of season 6 when the two of them are reunited kind of once again. And it's like, wait, honestly, if Richard Dean Anderson wanted to retire at that point, I think you had Daniel and Corin as Jonas going on with the other rest of the team members.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my God, you had a core group going right there that would have been ripe for it. Yes, Carter would be the team lead, but then you still got the best of all worlds. But at least Richard was able to hang around for more. But there's a lot to like about this episode. And the best thing about this episode is also the thing I hate most about this episode. Daniel dying.
I can't.
I ain't gonna lie. Every time I watch this stupid freaking episode, I get mad at the same damn time because it breaks my freaking heart.
Yeah.
And yes, I admit I cried for this episode every damn time I ever watch it. It hits me every, because it's so well done. The
it's so
writing
well
is
written. Yeah.
boom.
Yeah. I had to go and look up the whole Tibetan Buddhist rainbow light body thing, because it's very much, of course, pretty much on that wavelength of what looking at that, and then what the writers are doing with the ascension. And I don't know, before I ever knew more about that, the Tibetan Buddhists and the rainbow light body, I had watched this show, many, many years before. And then watching it again the other night, prepping for this, I was like, oh, is this that? It's very similar to the description of some of the people that, if they're fully ascended, they've lived their perfect, they finally have reached perfection and they can go out as a light being and not leave a trace of their body. Anyway, I thought that was kind of an interesting thing because I did not know about that until a few years ago. And then watching it again the other night, I was like, oh, Okay.
kind of makes sense.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like they were, again, the writer's not dumbing it down. They're the more you watch, the more you see the little Easter eggs and like the little
Yeah.
things.
Mhm.
Love that.
Yeah, a lot of people in the comments agreed. They wish the Jonas would have stayed on.
Oh, I do too.
Like
He
Jeff
would
and
have
I.
been perfect on Atlantis.
Put him on
Just saying.
SG3.
Mm-hmm. He'd have been
They need.
perfect to send there.
I'm not
Totally.
hating on Rainbow Sun Franks. I'm just saying they needed a character like Daniel. They didn't need Daniel on that show.
Just
And they
little
even
Josh.
made that part of a joke with Daniel, like, oh, he can never make his
Mhm.
way to Stargate to the Atlantis expedition in the Pegasus galaxy, except for when they're trying to figure out what's going on with the Ori. It's like, oh, well, you could have had they already explained, like at the beginning of season 6. Oh, I put every one of Dr. Jackson's notes to memory. Wait, what? Yeah, he's
Yep.
got an eidetic memory, so he knows everything that Daniel
Mhm.
does. He easily could have
Right.
gone to Atlantis and translated stuff and helped
Right.
there and
Yep.
been the emotional core that was missing from the team.
Mhm.
Because I like Atlantis, but they never had a character like
No.
Daniel in it. And I
Mhm.
feel like that's the thing that held it back from becoming an awesome show. It was a great show, no doubt, but
Mhm.
they kept changing things around. I think it's because they didn't have that kind of character that could be the core of the show. And having Corin as Jonas in that show might have been that little piece of the puzzle
Yep.
that was missing for some of it. They
It
eventually
is
got
interesting, right? How like in Atlantis, everybody was some sort of expert on the ancients. Everybody, no, not everybody was. Some people were military, and some people were medical, obviously. But that it seemed to me that the Rodney McKay character did a lot of heavy lifting because he was the one that read all the ancient, knew all their technology, and so he was kind of squished a little bit into that
they had to round some of
anthropology
his rough edges
cultural.
for the show.
Yes, of course he could do what Daniel Jackson does too.
And he was
But
just as smart as Carter too.
Yep.
yes, but that's just part of the character. But I think you're right. Jonas Quinn would have fit in just fine there, and it would have been cool to have more of like a ethnographer and anthropologist like that was specializing in the ancients. Every now and then. Daniel's one visit on Atlantis was pretty cool, though. Anyway.
Yeah, I love that. That's the whole punchline to that joke, though. Is like he can never get to Atlantis, but when he finally does get there, he's only there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Anyhow.
But
I didn't mean to drag us off topic.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
All right.
Steering back.
Any favorite lines, Julia, from this one?
Oh dear. I haven't had to focus on a lot of what Oma was saying as the ancient, trying to let Daniel know that if he could just like relax a little bit, he probably could see he's worthy of ascending. And everybody's favorite if you realize the candle is fire, the meal has already been cooked, or to paraphrase if I didn't get that correct. Of course, that's on my mind. I think that was in the Keb episode as well, and I think Stargate fans have been discussing that one for a long time. Of course, so that's kind of like the one that the thing that I remember the most. And then there was a poignant scene where Daniel was explaining to Oma some of the things that he had done, and he felt bad, like he couldn't save his wife, and he was kind of going back through the checklist of things he felt like he couldn't accomplish and things he didn't do. And she was just trying to point out to him that, hey, you had the heart to try. You did what you could with what you had, and that was the bigger picture. Don't be hard on yourself because it wasn't the outcome that you sought. And I'm sorry, I just don't remember the exact lines, but I found that scene kind of poignant because when you think about stuff that you tried in your life, you really thought you were trying, and it just doesn't work out. Yeah, I have we have a few of those things that everyone can relate to that. But anyway,
that's all right.
that's kind of where that's as far as I can go. I'm sure I probably should have taken notes. I was just rewatching for the joy of it for like the 5th or 6th time.
We just like to hang out around
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Skeeter, do you have any kind of lines?
Yeah, some long ones too, because
That's what
like
she
we
said.
were saying, this episode is so well written.
Yep.
Yeah, we got near the beginning, Sam's talking about how educated Jonas was, and
Mhm.
Jack looks to Hammond and goes, "He was a nerd, sir. He and Daniel got along great."
Oh, that's
They
right.
really did.
Then yeah, they're on Jonas's planet and they're looking at that power, the lab. And Sam says, "So this is some sort of generating device?" Jonas says, "Not exactly." Then you see they jump to Jack, and he's looking at Hammond, and he goes, "They're making a bomb, sir."
Mhm.
It's like that, just basically what it is. Then Daniel's after he gets radiated and he's talking to Jack the first time. Daniel says the nausea will be followed by tremors, convulsions, and something called
Oh,
atia, surface scar or surface tissue and brain tissue and internal organs will be inflamed and degrade. I believe that's called necrosis. And based on a dose of radiation I got, all that will happen in the next 10 to 12 or 10 to 15 hours. And if I don't drown in my own blood and fluids first, I will bleed to death. And then there's no medical treatment that will prevent that. Jack says, maybe not that we know of it. And Daniel goes, Jack, we don't go running to our off-world allies every time an individual's life is at stake.
Yes, we do.
Don't go telling me this is any different because my life is more valuable than anybody else's. Yeah. The other long one I got, like I said, the writing was so good in this. Jack's talking to Hammond. General, we do have intelligence on a sarcophagus. Hammond says SG3's mission report 2 months ago. Jack, yes, sir. Hammond says, we both know the negative effects of the technology, Colonel. And Jack says, but Daniel's been in one of those things dozens of times. Which,
one more time ain't gonna hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once more isn't going to hurt him. Hammond goes, however, SG3 reports clearly indicate, SG3's report clearly indicates that the circumstances
it's heavily guarded.
Yeah, it's heavily guarded and likely unretrievable. It would result in significant casualties, which is why I did not order the recovery mission at the time. Jack, sir, Hammond interrupts him. Colonel, please don't think you're alone in your feelings on this matter. Yeah. They're all trying to figure a way to save him, but no. Oh, a few more here. Jack says, now, just for the record, the reason we want that stuff is because we think it could be used to create defense shields. But you just go ahead and blow yourself to hell with it. That
he didn't care.
Like power of emotion there for him. Like, you know what? Screw you guys.
Like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Well, the whole blaming Daniel thing was like
bad.
Oh God, they're making him the scapegoat. Are you really kidding me here?
When Sam's talking to Daniel, Daniel, I didn't suggest this before because, the truth is, I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this thing. I could make things worse. And she kind of did.
That's probably why they drop it after this.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, two more. Daniel says, "Why do you care, Jack? Because despite the fact that you've been a terrific pain in my ass for the last 5 years, I might have grown to admire you a little. I
Yep.
think, Daniel, that's touching." He's like dying. That's touching.
I wonder how many takes that took.
Yep. And then one of my favorite Oma's lines: "The universe is vast, and we are so small. There is really only one thing we could truly ever control." Daniel, what is that? Oma says, "Whether we are good or evil." That is
Oh
fact.
yeah,
100%. I love that line. Very truthful.
It haunts the show for the rest of its life,
Yeah.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
that's
And
a good one.
that's what I had for lines.
Yeah, the only other one I had is
So, what? See you around.
Mm-hmm. I figured that. Since
I could have done
Thor,
more clips, but
Thor
I
got
thought I'd
captured.
keep it on the short side because the whole
Mhm.
episode is just like we keep
Perfect.
talking about. So
Yeah.
well written.
It's
The
heavy.
dialogue's
It-
great. The chemistry is awesome. The
Yeah.
actor's great.
Yeah, Aaron Jack when he first or second time he goes talk to Daniel. Um, I just want to. I'm really bad at this, Daniel. Yes, you are.
Yeah. He really is.
But yeah, that's all I had for lines. I mean, you could quote from beginning to end on this whole episode. It's that good.
It's a masterpiece in script
Mhm.
writing, is what it is. So excellent job to the writers on this one.
Yeah.
Because I'll be real. I know we have like things we don't like about this episode segment.
Mhm.
I got nothing. There's nothing I don't like about this other than we lose Daniel.
Mhm.
Yes.
And that's not even a bad thing. It's just then we lose him for basically like the next like 20-ish episodes, but he
Mhm.
pops back up here and there. And so it's like, oh my god, what are we doing here? When he does Abyss, I get wrecked because that's a Jack is about to die episode, and I'm like, no, don't do this to me now. And then we have the changeling with Teal'c, and then he's half dying,
Mhm.
and he shows up there, and I'm like, oh my god, what do we do? Daniel shows up whenever somebody's about ready to die, but there's strangely crazy, well written episodes as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good one, Gene. Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic episode. One where the pacing is good. And yeah, this is written by Robert C. Cooper.
Mhm.
And you got to see him in episode 100.
Yeah.
A Wormhole Extreme, everybody. Where they go write something.
Yeah.
You're not
I
doing
love
anything
that
important.
one. Talking about makes you wonder, but I do.
It is a documentary.
I know.
Wormhole Extreme is the fake show, not Stargate, everybody.
There is one little thing I didn't like about this episode, though.
Oh, what is it?
Shouldn't have Daniel covered both of his hands before removing that core? He just pulls his left hand covered and
I
leaves
thought he
his right
pulled
hand
both
in.
of his sleeves
No,
down.
he only pulled it
He
on
couldn't
his
get
left
it
hand.
over. You're
and
right.
he just
Yeah.
grabbed it right away and pulled it out. It's like you burnt your hand when you went to go touch it. Then you pull your sleeve and then you grab it with your other bare hand like nothing. It's like, what happened there? But then they did say that at the beginning of the episode, his right hand received the full thing of radiation. It's like, well, technically he was in the room right up against it, so his face would have gotten it too. And so,
I loved it when he was yelling at him, "Don't touch me!"
yeah, coming in, just standing like this, "Don't touch me."
Yeah,
It's
you'd
such
think
a
in a
good-
military operation they'd have like some
Yeah.
sort of tent to zip him in on a
Mhm.
gurney to kind of keep you. Never mind.
Or put him in a
I'm writing.
suit
I'm
of some
rewriting.
sort.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Never
Well,
mind.
if we're gonna get nitpicky, it's probably with the radiation stuff anyway. So
mhm. Yeah, like I
Right.
said, it's my only problem I didn't like about this, but it's a nitpick. I know that makes the storyline, but
But we did get Jonas Quinn. So, I mean, the upside there. I just wish he had come back more. That's all. That's all.
well, to Gene's point, even Jacob said, I can
Yeah.
maybe heal him, but I can never bring him back to a
full
point
health.
where he'd be okay. He will not be the
Mhm.
same anymore.
Right.
So it's just to let him die, especially
Mhm.
Janet. They didn't see Daniel like Jack, so why would they listen? Well, Jack, when he gets serious about things,
Yeah.
they know not to really like.
Mhm.
He's probably right. Although to that point, he could have said, you know,
Yeah.
something about like Oma is with him right now.
Yep. Yep. The quarantine procedure is
Quarantine
a pedestal.
procedures. Yeah.
Pedestal of SG1.
That is a
Looking
problem
back.
with one
Yeah.
period. For years. They do this even later in like season, what is it, 9 or 10, the Fourth Horseman, and they still have a problem with quarantine procedures, even like
Mhm.
10 years into a show. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the shots are beautiful in this episode
Yes.
too.
Oh,
Like
just
this.
beautifully
Yes.
done.
This is
Yeah.
why I had to snap this one. I'm like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool.
man.
Yeah, I almost took that one too.
You had me take one for you.
Yeah. That's next episode.
And, well, lighting Oma in the background like this.
Yeah, I love that sky, just the spotlight above them.
Right.
It's very
So how did you
theatrical.
what was your thought on how Daniel was communicating with Colonel O'Neill in these scenes? Like, do you think they were connecting through because Jack had like the ancient database downloaded into his head and somehow Daniel knew how to tap him on the shoulder so he could communicate in this way? Or
I wasn't sure
what's
if it
your
was
theory?
that's a good question. I kind of was wondering if it was a psychic ability. But yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if it because he was got the ancient DNA in him that
Right.
he
I think
was able to
so,
connect
and
with him.
along with the strong familiarity and bond
Mhm.
between the two of them,
Yeah.
that goes back before even the
Oh
events
yeah.
of the show.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that watching, like, how are they? Is this like Daniel? Is Daniel like kind of intruding, or is Daniel bringing him into
Yeah,
his
I think his
consciousness?
psyche. Yeah,
yeah,
bringing him into his psyche. So
that's a good question, though. I like that.
yeah,
And what would you guys score this, Julia? What would you score this one if you had to put it on a 10-point scale?
10? Oh dear. Well, heavy subject matter. I probably would put it at 8.5.
Okay.
Because they could have like actually made it like a 2-episode thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have made it into like a very much more detailed situation
Yeah.
with some more backstory on Jonas
Mhm.
and more like
Right.
flashbacks to Keb. So we were kind of picking up, just how
Mhm.
far Daniel actually came in the process of being able to like step into Ascension. So I don't know. That's my thought.
That's a good point.
I mean, just because it's not long enough.
That's a
It's
good
not
point.
long
You
enough.
could have
Yeah.
actually made this like this if they knew for a fact
Yeah.
that they were coming back for season 6. I would have been nastier. I would have made this like the cliffhanger at the end of the
Yeah.
season. Are they going to save Daniel or are they not
Right.
going to save
Mhm.
Daniel?
Okay.
They just make
That's
everybody
awesome.
wait
Right.
freaking 6 months and piss everybody off. I've seen shows that do that, so it's
Yep.
like
Yeah, I
maybe
was
that would have been
surprised. Like,
not a bad idea.
like the next episode was just sort of like, that's kind of it's not really overlapping with Daniel's ascension, which was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that. Go on. We'll get to that.
Okay, Skeeter, you score this one now.
Yeah, this is really well done. I have to drop it a little bit because he could have covered both his hands. That still bothers me. Sorry.
Should
So
have
it's a
worn gloves
9
or
point.
something.
Yeah, 9.95.
Take it off like a 0.05.
Yep. I mean, I understand it was for the story, but there's gloves around. He could have grabbed a couple. I mean, there's dead guy
Right,
in
he
there.
could have grabbed them
pulled it
off the
him.
guys. Yeah, that
Mhm.
were on the ground. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go no less than a 9, but if I'm gonna have to peg it, I'm probably gonna go ahead and give this a 10. This is really well done, and the writing's great, the directing's really good, the shots are fantastic, the story's awesome, just the pacing, everything just flows so well, and it's such a great send off to a character. It's like you knew everybody involved was sad to see Michael Shanks leave and to see Daniel go, and they all put their heart into this. And it's like, you're gonna give a character a send off. This is what you want to do. You don't want to
Yeah.
do a Tasha Yar where she just gets eaten by a oil slick monster, and then that's the end of her for
Right,
like
that
3
was
years.
very unsatisfying. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like when you write somebody off, like don't do that stuff. Give them a proper ending and a heroic ending. This was a heroic ending. Well, it's not really an ending. We get them
Yeah.
back soon enough anyway. But
It's in the next episode.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a 10. I think this is fantastic, even though we lose Daniel. But hey, and for our buddy Dave out there, it's got the Walter bump in it. So 10 it is. Fan rating on Gateworld is a 7.70. So there was probably some big flack back then from Daniel leaving the show. But Darren gives this a 3.5 stars out of 4. So he's about 75% on this one.
Yeah.
I think if he watched it again, he might bump it up. And when we bring him back on, we're going to ask him, are you going to reevaluate your score for Meridian?
It'll make him cry. He'll change it.
Yep, we'll make you cry, Darren. Guaranteed. Yep. Promises. Promises. And then we're going to get over on into Revelations, everybody, where SG-1 must come to the rescue of their once powerful allies when the Goa'uld attack a secret Asgard laboratory. And you can thank Osiris and Anubis for this one. They go right after the heart of the matter. And oddly enough, they test the Asgard patients and their technology, and somehow they subdue Thor and destroy his entire ship, although we never see that.
Yeah, he's dead for a little bit.
He dead, sure. Jim.
Right. This was like a back-to-back kind of like, wow, this is next week's show. Whoa.
Yeah, now Thor's dead.
Right? That's
killing off all of Michael Shanks' characters in this show.
Yep.
Like, you don't want Thor talking too much here.
Right. So I noticed Terrell Rothery does the voice of the other. Never mind. I'll let you get to it.
Hemdahl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. I was like, I wrote it down here, but I can't read my writing.
I scrolled down quick. I got mine typed up.
Of course you do, Skeeter. Now, we're going to start with you on this round. What are some of your favorite moments about Revelations?
All right, let's go to my slides. Here we go.
Okay.
Right away, we have another beautiful planet shot. I mean, it is gorgeous.
There's some great shots in this.
Listeners starting to fly in there from the wormhole. It is gorgeous scene. Speaking of gorgeous, we got Osiris back, my favorite redhead.
The Osiris watch is back on, everybody.
Yeah. She's gorgeous. So, but yeah, they still got that beautiful planet scene in the background, the Blister sitting right in front of them. And then we get Thor back for a little bit, then he's dead. But,
Ish.
I hope when he flew in, he was wearing his brown pants after he started shooting at their ship, and nothing happened. He definitely needed his brown pants because, he was like, oh, no.
Oh, no, this ain't working.
Yeah. Then we see, Sam's looking through Daniel's stuff, missing Daniel, which I love. They continued that up. That Daniel's gone, and they're still feeling it. And then Sam's talking to Hammond. You could tell she was really crying in this scene because she's got a booger in her nose.
Oh my God, I never noticed that till now.
And it, during the scenes where she's talking, it's flipping back and forth in her nose. I'm like, wow, she was really full on crying.
Of course, you'd pay attention to this.
Well, it just I'd never noticed it before till now. This latest rewatch, I'm like, wait a minute, what was that? And I rewound. I'm like, oh my gosh, she really has a booger in her nose. So,
wow.
I always find the little details on this latest rewatch. I think because I watch it 2-3 times before I get on here. Then we got Freya, voiced by Brian Jensen.
Yep.
Freya is in 3 episodes. Or Freyr, not Freya, Freyr. In 3 episodes, Red Sky in season 5, Failsafe in season 5, and this one, Revelations. Then we never see again.
You mean Failsafe, where Jack says something naughty about Freyr's mother?
Yep. But Brian Jensen also played the head priest back in season 1.
Yep.
Episode Bloodlines. I noticed after I took this photo, I got a nice butt shot of Sam too. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Things I don't notice until you point them out.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I don't know. Yeah, it's nice. We find out Freyr says that Thor is killed, and that explains why he is not in our podcast tonight.
Way to go, Thor.
We do find out he didn't die. He got captured. So he got captured by the Gould. He's still recovering after having that pointy object inserted to him, which
I have a picture of that in here.
So do I.
That's the thermometer he's trying to
they don't have any orifices. Yeah. Jack pushes through the loss of Daniel. You see that when he's putting together the P90 while Sam's trying to get him to grieve with her. All the raw emotion that Sam was giving this episode is so heartfelt. You could see she's just ready to lose it, break down. She even tries to get Teal'c to admit it, and he's like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. Jack here, who realizes they need a chair back there for somebody to sit in the rough terrain. Yep. And then when they get to the planet, hot. They find out it's over 400 degrees. The Asgard lab, pretty damn cool looking. I thought, I was like, dang, that's just amazing looking. I love how they did that set. Then we meet Dr. Fraser. Hendal, voiced by Carol Rothery. You barely could recognize her voice with all the synthesized voices changer on her.
Auto-tune.
Yeah, that too. Then that's when we find out Thor's still alive. He's a prisoner on the Gould ship with Osiris. Seeing Jack's face after he said that, he's captured, he's a prisoner. Jack's face, he doesn't say it, but you could see it, that he's going to kill all those Gould for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, they're all dead. I'm going to get them for what they did to him. Then we see Thor in this new holding device by the Gould. It's like they specifically made it just for him.
Well, it could be, right?
Mhm.
And Anubis has a new stash of technology,
technology.
from wherever ancient database
Mhm.
he dug up. Anyway, continue.
So, yeah, this holographic screen was so well done.
Yes.
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
amazing. And they got the Asgard language up there on the screen, which was also, we go back a couple screens here. Oh, one too many. Yeah, it's on the top of the screen there too, mixed with Gould. So it's a mixture of Gould and Asgard language up there. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, seeing Jack in the research facility bent over talking to nothing was pretty comical. And then we have Hemdahl explaining the research to the team and their reaction to it. Then, yeah, Sam looking really confused by the stone that was given her by Hemdahl. When she first grabs it, she's like, what's this? And then she's like, yeah, I'll stick it to my chest. So I thought it was funny that it's like she didn't know what it was, but she's used them before. So that's what kind of shocked me about that. Yeah, then we meet Anubis, the first look at him in his cloak. Played by David Palfy, who has been on Blade the series, Cold Squad, Full Metal Jacket, Bloodsuckers, Andromeda, House of the Dead, The X-Files, and even one episode of Friday the 13th, the series, as Fred Marr. So, he is also the brother of Jeff Palfrey. He's a well-known talent and model agent, formerly for Ford Models, now with PMG Management in Vancouver. He was the first one to discover Erica Durance from Smallville in 2001, Evangeline Lilly in Lost in 2004, Sarah Much from guest ads with Paris Hilton and numerous others. So, yeah, two brothers. One's making films, the other one just finds people for films.
It's family.
Yeah. Then, yeah, we see Jack and Teal'c walking through Sam. They could have walked around her. But, you know,
That was
Jack's like,
funny.
yeah, he's kind of like, yeah, I'm going to walk right through you. So then Teal'c's like, okay, just do that. Yeah, then this device that they put in Thor, yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. So, yeah, the effects they did on Anubis' face, I couldn't get a good photo of it. It was getting too bright out at my place.
It's a little tricky to get that even
Yeah,
from my end, so I did not
it
have
was
one either.
like that.
It's a shimmery kind of like
gray, silver, black,
like in flux sort
Yep.
of things. Yeah,
it was pretty cool. Yeah, and then we got the Asgard ancestors. They look more human than what they do, but still like a Barbie doll, smooth. So,
you know,
yeah, I don't know how they're getting their
Well-
reproduction, because that's what they're trying to do. Is
Right.
but yeah, that ancestor is over thousands of years old, and yeah, nothing there. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to work there, but they figure out how to do it. It would have been nice if Thor told them where their guns and equipment were before he opened up the door. But yeah, he was in a lot of pain, so I kind of get it, but been handy for them. Or even if Sam told them where it was. And then we got our final new person. We meet Jaffa number 3, played by Martin Sims, who's been on Night at the Museum, Red 2, Everything Will Be Fine. And he comes back on Atlantis as Hoffman, an uncredited character.
Oh.
He's also in 2 other episodes of SG-1. He plays Dolkin or Dolok. Yes, DOL''OK, Dolok.
Dolok.
It's season 6, episode 8 in The Other Guys. He plays Hagen's bodyguard in season 7, episode 8, Space Race, but as uncredited also. So, yeah, then we see Jack and Teal'c just standing around waiting for Sam to appear. Then she gets zatted when she's trying to tell them what to do, so they don't know what crystals to pull. So what does Jack do? What Jack always does.
Shoot 'em
blow
all.
it up. So then yeah, the photo I had to have Jeff get for me. Yeah, we see 3 Asgard ships come rolling in. Osiris is sitting there, and Anubis is sitting there with no power to their shields. So what else are they going to do but take off?
Well, they
They
had
know
sent
better.
off 2 of their own other motherships
Yep.
to go fight Lord Yu.
Yep.
And much to
Right.
Osiris's chagrin of like,
Yeah.
ugh, that old man just might die.
Yeah. It's in my lines. Yeah, then we do see Daniel one more time. Well, not really. I mean, there's a breeze the team feels into saying it's a malfunction of the ventilation.
Right.
But yeah, you can tell by Jack's face, he knows it's Daniel. So yeah, that was nice little touch at the end. I got one fun fact I found out about this too. Dan Shea and Gary Jones are the only 2 guest stars to appear in all 10 seasons. No other guest star has done that.
Hmm.
So I just found that out today too. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So didn't know they're
Makes
guest
sense.
stars, but yeah, they are really.
Siler's Wrench.
Yeah, but that's what I had for scenes and new people.
All right. Julia, do you have any favorite moments or parts of Revelations?
Probably when they are able to get out of the gold ship, they do get Thor out, but he's not doing so great. But at least they're able to rescue him, and that was like a relief. I think that's probably my favorite part, when everybody is beamed to the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
In the nick of time. The other interesting thing is that when Osiris asks, well, where's Daniel? I expect to see him, since the body that Osiris is in was like some woman that Daniel used to have some kind of connection with. Mm-hmm. And they have to tell her, no, he's not here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just, I can't remember what she says, but it's like really cold. And of course, but it's a gold, so
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that struck me really oddly, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, I guess she would say something crappy like that, because she's not a human for
Mm-hmm.
in a thing in a human, but she's not human.
She had this look on her face, almost
Yeah,
like, I don't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which was also kind of interesting at the same time.
It was almost like Sarah was
Right.
taking control for a second.
Like,
wait, what?
Right.
Yep.
I did like there was a little bit of comedy in here, and I like it when
Mhm.
they stick that in. There's the writers stick a little bit of like stuff in, and like you said, when they walked through Sam's hologram, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
When they were trying to like figure out what they were doing in there, had to find Thor, got thrown in the brig, got released from the brig, and that was there was some funny stuff going on. But I did like the set of the Asgard lab. I agree with you on that one. It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of, I don't know, like some of these nicer casinos you can go to these
Mhm.
days. I got that vibe, like, oh yeah, all you need is some slot machines down over here to the left.
It almost
And
reminded me
as-
of Michello's lab.
Yeah,
actually,
a little
from
bit of
previous
Michello's.
seasons.
Yeah.
But without all the decorations
Mhm.
and the
Curtains and yeah.
Yeah, I
Curtains,
liked
yeah.
the block effect on that wall
Mm-hmm.
with the behind the staircase. But I find this as a season finale to be, I don't know. I think they should have flipped Meridian and Revelations, because Daniel ascending would have been quite the season finale.
Mhm.
This, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I was reading. There is something to be said. There's a tidbit on Gate World. Like they had assumed they would end their run on fifth and final season. This is from like Joseph Malozzi's
Okay.
blog. They didn't. They assumed this was all they were going to have was 5 seasons. They were trying. They did not want to end on like some sort of cliffhanger,
Mhm.
and so they intentionally set it up this way so that if there was going to be a continuation,
Mhm.
you're not at
Okay.
least leaving people, or if there's not a continuation,
Right.
you're not leaving people with like, oh damn, what the hell's going on?
Okay,
They wanted
that's
to give
good.
everybody something a little more okay as an ending. It reminds me of
Right.
how like season 10 ends though with unending, and I freaking hate that. So it's like, well, he kind of ended up doing this same kind of ending in season
Mhm.
10, and then we got no more after that. So
Right.
I
And it's
don't
good.
like it when
Yeah.
it continues, but if it doesn't continue, I guess
Mhm.
it's one thing.
Yeah, they lucked out. I think that they were shocked when they got to come back to work, for season 6.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why Michael Shanks ended up, saying, "Hey, I'm getting another job," because he was like, "Well, are we going to be back?" And he thought he was going to have other work, and
Yeah, he had his reasons. I don't really
yeah,
remember like what all of them were. I'm sorry. Like that is so many years ago, and I'm like,
right,
every actor at some point who's been on TV shows for this amount of time needs a break.
Mhm.
And he
yeah,
very much liked play acting or
Yep.
stage play. He liked doing that. And he also had a chance to then go do Andromeda. He had a chance to go do a few other TV shows that were shooting in
right,
Vancouver or
right,
Canada, and a chance to like do something else. And
right.
I totally get that. You want to
I do too.
stretch your wings out.
Yeah, and if there was like no commit, or if there was no idea of a season 6 even happening, I'd be out there looking for another work, more work. That's for sure.
That's probably what his contract was for, was just through 5 seasons. Okay, I'm out.
Right,
I,
right.
I need a break anyway. And then he comes back in season 6 the 2 times. And I think after like the second one, he's like, you know what? I kind of actually miss this.
Oh,
And I think he's even
Is
said
it-
as much. Where
yeah.
he's like,
I just looked it up, and it says that he, due to creative frustrations regarding the underutilization and lack of development of his character, he felt the character had become stagnant and desired more artistic depth and action, leading to his
Hmm.
or departure.
he's both correct and incorrect at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
But you could feel that during the second half of this season, after outside of like Summit and Last Stand, some of the other episodes, it feels like he's just kind of been
Just
put in
there.
the background, like
Mhm.
not being used. It's like, wait, you're not
Right.
doing anything? All you had was this one idea for 2 episodes, and then that's it. So
Yeah.
he might have felt like this is a good time as any for me to move on, and comes back around season 6, and then from that point forward with season 7 after that, he's got a lot more creative input. Jack's already, or Richard Dean Anderson's already scaling back in season 7 and then 8, and then season 9 and 10 is
Yeah,
basically
I'm not.
Daniel's show.
I'm not going to complain. I love that this show went hard. 22 episodes a season, 10 seasons.
Mhm.
We don't get that. I mean, we're spoiled. Nobody gets that
Never gonna
anymore.
get that again.
I hope so.
No.
I mean, I hope they have it. At least 10 episodes, but they better make them like an hour and 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Uh-huh.
Just saying. Just saying. Yeah. Anyway, those were kind of like some of the things that I was surprised that this was the season finale. Let's just say I
Yeah.
felt like I don't know, but
Felt
like you
just
said,
another
nobody
random
knew.
episode.
Mhm.
Nobody knew. They thought it may have been like the series, the
Yeah.
end of the series, and it kind of tied
Mhm.
everything up. Thor's okay. We're all going home. It's all
Anubis is
gonna
still
be
out
okay.
there.
Yeah, we got a new baddie. So you see
You
him.
know, and that's like a whole nother thing. Like that whole character of a re-embodied ancient that had chosen an ascension path that was fully service to self, and wow, that was like that's a whole nother thing, rabbit hole.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
this Anubis's first episode then?
No.
No.
Okay,
Well-
so
His
he had been
Last
introduced.
Stand
Yeah.
that he
Okay.
showed up in at the very end.
hmm
Okay.
They kept
Yes, I-
mentioning him from like
Yeah.
previous, and then if you look back to like say like season 4 when the Tolan are about to have their fall from grace, that's when they it's like, oh
Yep.
wait, I see what Lord Zapacna was up to way back when they were
Lord
trying
Zippy.
to do Scar's trial and everything.
hmm
And so we also had the side story of teal'c and his son
Yep.
having to deal with his wife's his ex, I don't know,
hmm
his lady passing away as well because she wouldn't take a symbiote. And so there's kind of a embargo going on of symbiotes out in the greater old society because they don't know which Jaffa to trust that with.
That and the
And so there was
population
like
growth is stunted because they're eating the
Mhm.
old larva.
right. So there's like this whole second story, which is also really heavy, like a whole nother story about loss and struggling with that. And it's not just straight out grieving. This time you've got like a little bit of anger. How dare you put me in this position? How dare you not be here for me when mother wasn't doing well? How dare you fight these people and make them do this to us? And there was a lot of like dealing just with like those issues as well. And I think we after living a while, every now and then you do come across a loss like that where there's grief, but there's more anger than grief. And so I like that this is like a story that finally ends up with them being the actual heroes of the story, where everyone's trying to figure out how to get the Stargate figured. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Am I in the wrong episode? I think I am. I think I jumped up to the next episode. Sorry, but
No, that's all right.
all right. So yeah, so I think that this one, I don't know. I don't know if I have anything more to say about it. I really because now I've jumped into like episode 1, season 6. Sorry. I think that the introduction of Anubis and not really knowing much about him other than that he was able to get a hold of some kind of ancient technology, and because he has no light, he has no anything in him except just wanting to full conquering, taking over what's left of the gold empire because I can, and I have all this extra technology, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, interesting place to like be like smack in the middle of the entire series and not knowing you were going to come back. Anyway, I've gone on too long. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, some of the things I like about this episode is you do get some good like little farewells to everything, like especially Jack, everybody at the very end, and it also bookends from the beginning of the episode where everybody's still dealing with the fallout from Daniel being gone. Like Carter's the one who's basically asking like, why is everybody still moving on? But then she talks to teal'c, and teal'c's like, I will do mourning once the time is appropriate. I'm going to do a particular ritual. And Jack just deals with things in his own way, regardless. And
Right.
you got General Hammond, who's basically like, I've been in command for how many years? I've been in the military for how many years? I've lost so many people. You I understand the grief, but you
gotta get
gotta
past it.
move on. And it's a very, I call this the bigger episode for Carter more than anybody else, because
Mhm.
she's stepping up and growing into a much
Mhm.
deeper role for herself. And I think she ends up, is it next season she gets promoted again?
Yeah,
Or is
I
it
I think
seven,
so.
season 7?
or it's a 7.
But you know, this is the start of her moving up even more into a leadership role. And
Mhm.
eventually when we get to Atlantis, she takes over Atlantis command for basically a season, and I
Mhm.
thought she was fantastic doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was
So-
great. Great season.
Mhm.
And I think this is one of those initial points that makes her character grow even further than you could possibly imagine. It's like there's always room for growth for all of these characters,
Yeah.
but it felt like, hey, let's lift her up a bit. Teal'c is fine and Jack is
Mhm.
fine, but we need to kind of give her a little more weight and gravity to her roles.
Yep.
Let's just stop giving her boyfriend the next like 3 or 4 years. That'd be great. But you know, I like the overall story of this episode, but it just feels so weird as the last episode of
Yes.
season 5. It's just,
Yes.
I mean, I know they didn't want to put the season on a cliffhanger and they wanted to break tradition, but at the same time, there's got to be a little more of a hook going into like season 6 if you wanted to have more of a story going on. But I like Anubis. He's one of my favorite bad guys.
Mhm.
I'm not the
Mhm.
big fan of his design though. I don't like the fluctuating
Hmm.
face. I preferred some of the concept drawings and
Yeah.
some other like I've seen like fan art statues where he's basically got the Anubis head basically molded onto his body. It's
Mhm.
almost
Mm.
like Doctor Doom, so to speak. Like
Yep.
he's
Yeah.
always wearing
Jackal
the
head.
perpetual ornate head
Mhm.
of the Anubis that
The jackal,
people would be
yeah.
familiar with. And it's like, that would have been so sick. But they
Mhm.
never made it. And it's like, well, that's too bad. I thought that would have been cool for a design, but what they did was totally fine. He's a nice little nasty bad guy, but they
Mhm.
also did our boy Sokar pretty dirty because they thought, oh, we're just gonna build up to Anubis anyways, so we're gonna
Mhm.
get rid of Sokar in like 2 episodes. It'll be fine.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
But-
yeah, I agree with you on the, like, you were wondering about like how they made him faceless, right? It's like
Yeah.
they put like a black shiny cloth in there or something and then projected
Yep.
an effect on. Yeah, he makes you want, well, you know, if he is kind of disembodied but not, you know,
Mhm.
I
he's
mean,
like,
it makes sense, but like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, what is
I'd
he?
rather give him a little more of a distinct sort of
Yeah.
feature rather than a blank feature.
Mhm.
Would have been cool if they actually gave him like a Jaffa-like mask that was like the head of the god Anubis.
Yep.
That's what I'm
That's-
talking about. Yeah.
The concept art was like that.
Yep.
Where he just sort of talked through the nose and the
Mhm.
eyes glowed or whatever. But then when
That
he took
would
it
have
off, it was
been
blank, you know, that would have been cool. Anyway,
yeah.
maybe.
The prop people might have been like, "Oh no, we got to make like 9
Yeah.
different helmets now."
Right.
Great.
Right.
But no, I like Osiris being back.
Mhm.
And her, and we go back to this scene really quick. Like, I really enjoyed like Anna just emoting just enough through the eyes and the face while
Mhm.
still
Right.
being full gold,
Mhm.
but being like, wait, he's dead. And in this one particular specific moment, it's like she actually believes he's dead, but she's
Yeah.
still not happy about it because she didn't kill him.
Kill him. Yep.
It's like a little weird duplicity, like the trope
Right.
I have.
Well, I
So-
think Osiris wanted to kill Daniel just to kill Sarah off more emotionally. You know, like,
Right.
Yeah.
I already am ruining your life. Let me really show you how I could be evil.
And
So
just
you feel like the two
Right.
different like
Mhm.
emotions, like disgust that he's dead and oh my
Mhm.
god, Daniel's dead.
Hmm.
and I wish I could have done it because I would have let, you know, they're sadistic like that. You know, the
Yeah.
Golds are quite sadist, you know,
Hmm.
and so they would do that just to like watch you, the pain in your face while they killed you, you know.
Hmm.
Very ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, them hiding underneath the Asgard ship, like, haha, you can't get us.
Oh, yeah, behind all three of them. That's
Mhm.
pretty funny. Now,
Yeah.
any favorite lines? Skeeter?
Yeah, I got a few. Right at the beginning, Osiris saying, "Our days of bowing to the Asgards are finally over."
Oh, yeah.
So very powerful. Like she's like, "Aha, can't be stopped." Oh, wait a minute. Sam says to Hammond, "But with all due respect, sir, I don't even understand how I feel. We didn't even have a memorial service." This is her booger scene, by the way.
Mhm.
Hammond says, "We're not even really sure that he is dead." Sam, and that's the problem. What are we supposed to do, sir? Wait and hope he comes back or just move on? Yeah, I mean, she was putting in raw emotion on that. I mean, I think the acting was to the side, and this was just her way of dealing with him leaving the show. Then we got Frere saying, "We have no ships available, and we understand you have a Gould cargo ship at your disposal." Sam's like, "Well, it isn't exactly in perfect working order. We managed to get it repaired with the help of the Tok'ra, but," Jack just jumps in, "We'll do it."
We'll do it. That's what we do.
Yeah, but everybody
That's what we do.
Prayer is like, "Wait, what?"
In fact, it does say Colonel on my uniform.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sam says, "Tell me I'm not the only one," when she's talking to Teal'c. Teal'c, "I will perform the proper rituals when the opportunity presents itself. Until that time, this mission must take priority." Sam's like, "Please, Teal'c, don't give me that Way of the Warrior crap. I get enough of that from Colonel O'Neill." Teal'c's like, "Daniel Jackson has ascended to a higher plane of existence. Many Jaffa have dedicated their lives to achieve such a goal." Sam's like, "So to celebrate?" Teal'c's, "It's a great accomplishment." Like there's still that little bit of humor from Teal'c, but you could tell Sam was struggling with his, trying to pull the tough
Yeah.
guy act. Here we got Jack saying, we should really consider putting another chair back here. When you think of it, it'd be much
Yes.
safer, wouldn't it?" Teal'c, how will I, or how, blah, blah, blah. I see, I have a mistype. "How are we to locate the Asgard facility?" Then they get beamed down there. Sam says, "Well, that was easy."
Staples button.
Yeah. Um, Heimdall, "As a race, the Asgard reproduce exclusively through the process of enhanced cellular mitosis." Sam, are you serious? You have no other means of propagation?
Mhm.
Uh, or propagation? Heimdall, "No." Jack, "Carter?" Sam says, "They're clones, sir, all of them." Jack, "Ah, well, that answers a few questions." Heimdall, "In fact, for nearly 1,000 years, we have been physically incapable of achieving cell division through mitosis." Jack, "Hmm?" Sam, "Sexual reproduction, sir." Jack, "Ah, 1,000 years?" Heimdall, "It is not something we'd like to discuss with other races." Jack says, "This I understand." You played a clip earlier at the beginning. "I can't believe they took my watch."
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why they would, but they probably don't know what it is, and they're like, "Oh, it's probably a tool that he could use." Um, Teal'c says while they're in the jail cell, "In which case our chances of escape are negligible." Jack, "Oh, I don't know. All we gotta do is bust out of here, take out every Jaffa between here and Paltech, commandeer the ship, and fly on home." Teal, "I stand corrected." like really? You're buying that? Yeah, then we got the Jaffa 3. The battle with Lord Yu does not go well. We request reinforcements, Osiris. That stubborn old man simply refuses to die, which
Yep.
was a good line. Let's see, we got 4 more here. Sam says, there should be an access panel somewhere along here, Jack. Okay, next time I'm the hologram. Osiris says, we have Colonel O'Neill and the Shova. So that just leaves Daniel Jackson. Where is he? Sam, forget it. Osiris, once again, where is Daniel Jackson? Sam says he's dead. Osiris, with a blank look in her face, you're lying. Sam tells her to go to hell. So then she just zips up from there for being teleported.
Shing.
Just in time, too.
Yep.
Then, yeah, they're up on the ship after, the mothership takes off for the Gould. Sam says, it's over. Jack's like, that's it? Like, wait a minute. It was kind of weird. Like, oh, that is just it. Jack says, as he's walking with Teal'c out, to leave the base, getting ready to leave the base, we're not that much of a nuisance just yet. Teal'c says, of that I am not so sure. And yep, that was it for my lines.
Julia, do you happen to have any lines? I mean, Skeeter pretty much covered most of mine
I
already.
know. Like the conversation when she's trying to explain, Sam's trying to explain how the Asgard reproduce or don't reproduce is another pretty funny classic. Like, next time I want to be the holograms, also good.
Yeah.
Very good. But that's just par for the course for O'Neill character.
Of course. That's just our Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Thor actually had a couple of zingers in there too.
Yeah.
While he was like in Do Not Come, I Will Not Make It, all the stuff. I don't know. He had a couple of really good things in there too. Next time I will write things down like Skeeter. I was just watching and like kind of getting into the enjoyment of the show again because I hadn't watched any SG1 for a minute. I catch it every now and then, but flipping through channels now. But it's like, oh, I had to sit down and watch for this one. Anyway, that's where I'm at with that.
Not a problem. I don't really have any other lines. I've already played them all.
Yeah, I did forget to write that down. There is a spot where you can see Sam crouch down off on the
I noticed it this last time too, and I'm like, oh.
Yep, I didn't notice before until this rewatch. But this rewatch, I'm like really focusing on the little stuff. So.
Every now and then I'll catch one of those things, and it's just like, oh.
Just like Walter's name.
If I get invited back to do a Stargate Atlantis episode, I know of one specifically. I know of one specifically. Anyway.
Oh. Is there anything that maybe did not work for you, Skeeter? In this
one little thing. It's kind of not really
not wearing gloves again?
but just kind of. It's
oh no.
After they get beamed aboard the ship, to try to save Thor, right? When Teal'c and Jack first get beamed up, they punch in the door code and walk out. What would have happened if the Gould changed their door lock code? And why haven't they changed their codes yet? Because why keep it the same on every ship? It should be something different. I mean, can you imagine Teal'c's like, okay, and then tries it again. It appears they've changed the code, But no, they don't. So that's my only little nitpick, really. It's just I kind of wonder why don't they change the door codes? They already know they've been on their ships.
I can see that. Well, he was also first prime for Apophis. He might have had some cheat code, like an override code of sorts.
Right.
Just a thought. How about you, Julia? Was there anything about this episode that maybe didn't work for you?
Only that I thought it was strange that this was the season finale.
Yeah.
It didn't seem big enough, and it just sort of seemed like an afterthought after Daniel ascending. Like if you had been watching when it was on weekly, and you had just seen the episode Meridian, and it was a kind of a tearjerker, and very sad, and we're losing a character, and then the next week this comes up. And yes, there's some discussion of his transcendence, but then it's like, oh, now we got to go rescue Thor.
Yep.
Okay, and I don't know. That was my only like, wow, this is kind of, looking back and rewatching it, a few days ago after, just sort of seeing it many times over in the previous years. I was thinking, well, that's kind of a weird season finale. But now that you had kind of explained that they didn't know if they were going to have a season 6, it kind of, okay, this makes sense. But that would be my only. Other than that, and I don't like seeing Thor hurt or powerless.
Yeah.
Like, it seems to me Thor should always be able to like get out of a situation. And so we are never really shown how it is that they capture Thor and stick him in this metal tube thing. We're never shown like, well, how did you get, what did you do to go get him? Does Anubis have a new piece of like a beaming technology?
No, they said real quick in the episode, it was a real short, quick scene where they say that they saw an escape pod and they captured it.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Okay. Thanks for
that was really quick. So
yeah, it was like a throwaway sentence. Yep. All righty. So that's yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on board with you on that one. Like, I don't like that we didn't really even see any sort of battle or anything. Like, how did you subdue Thor's ship and cause him to go into an escape pod? Like, come on. You got to do a little bit more than just be like, oh, in the next scene, Thor's captured and he's quote unquote dead. Like, I have a problem with that logic breakdown because it's like, how am I supposed to buy any of this when you're not showing any sort of advanced technology or anything? Yes, Thor shot at them and nothing happened,
but we knew about the shield. So
then what? Like, come on, it doesn't work for me on that level. But as far as anything else goes, like what you've been saying, Julia, is like, this is just a weird spot for this episode. Like. You just go on this emotional drain from the last one, and then you come back for this, and it's just one episode. It's like, if you're going to do that to Daniel, I actually would have encouraged them to do that midway through the season, rather than drag it out until almost the very end.
But these are back. This was back in the day before they had like mid-season cliffhangers. That would have been a great mid-season cliffhanger, I guess, for sure. But I remember those things weren't really applicable. That didn't really start happening till like 2010, 2011, where series would start to put in the mid-season cliffhanger. Whatever.
Stargate had some of those, but this season was strange because they didn't do it.
They didn't think they were coming back, too.
Well, and they moved Summit and Last Stand to basically the second half of the season. Like, it's like episode like 14 and 15 instead of like episode like 12 and 13. Because we had done season 3 with John R's Memories and whatnot. And then season 4 they had something similar in the middle of the season, but this season they did not. It's like they took that big 2-parter and they moved it later. And it's like, what are you all doing? The whole season, I like this season. And I watched this live with everybody. This was the first season I actually watched live with everybody. And I remember watching it at the time, and I'm like, this season feels a little weird for some reason. It feels off. And just the pacing, the order of the episodes, things of that nature, like, felt like something weird was definitely going on. Daniel even, and then there. Now, when you go to like season 6, there is an extra gap between
Mhm.
the end of season 5 production and the beginning of season 6. It
Mm.
wasn't like they took like the standard 2 or 3 months off.
No.
It was actually more like about 6.
Mhm.
They kept all the sets and everything. However, there was an extra length of time, and it felt weird when it came back to
Mhm.
Sci-Fi Channel. And then you had the recast, and then so just this being the final episode just felt really out of place. Not that it's not a good episode, just felt
No.
like for a season 5 finale, like this didn't really quite jive, even with the hair blowing scene at the end.
Right. And maybe that's why there wasn't really much of a battle scene. Like, well, how did
Yeah.
Thor's ship blow up, and what was going on? Maybe they were just out of money.
Mhm.
The
They had
budget
to
was
crank
over.
out what
They
they
didn't.
could.
They didn't have the money to like show us a space battle.
Possibly,
So-
yeah.
Mhm.
They saved it for the 3 big bullet schooners facing
Yeah.
on. So, but if we're gonna get into scores, I'll give this I'm sorry, 7.5. It's fine. There's things I like about it, but for the most part, it's just kind of a standard episode, really. I don't hate it like I hate Unending. Like, ugh. That one just drives me crazy. I'm like, the one season they thought they were coming back for another one, and they weren't because they thought, oh, we can do this. This will be just fine. And then they got canceled. And it's like, oh damn. So that's what I'm going to score it. How about you, Skeeter?
I kind of dig this episode, surprisingly. I'm going to rate this a little higher. I'm going a 9. Because I did like it. I mean, it doesn't totally fit. And to answer Gene's question here, Jonas was stuck on
Right.
Earth, learning Earth's culture and new technology. So, they're training him down there to get him ready. Because he
They at the
just
beginning of
came to
season
Earth.
actually.
Yeah.
Like
He
he's
probably
not
had to do
exactly
basic
got
training.
clearance to go do stuff at
Yeah.
this point.
So he's got to learn the culture more. And, they're just starting
Well, I
his
think they
training.
shot this episode out of order too.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, 9 for me.
Okay. How about you, Julia?
I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10.
Mhm.
Just because it's in a weird spot and it feels like a regular kind of mid season kind of
Mhm.
just checking in this week kind of episode. It just doesn't have the same kind of emotional hit as Daniel ascending. That may have been the crazier send off to the season. So I don't know. It's not that it's a terrible episode or anything like that.
Right.
It's just that it seems like it's not really a level of an ultimate season episode. And there's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where's the space battle? Where's Jonas? And which, like I said, I'm assuming he's going through basic training.
Mhm.
Since he's going to be him, going out in a military situation. So
Could have shown him even for a split second.
Yeah. Like, what's going on? Just go back to your room.
You guys need any help? No. You
No.
got to finish your education or orientation.
Mhm.
And let's see here. Fan rating on Gate World is a 9.13.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
close to what I had.
And
Okay.
Darren gives this 3.5 stars out of 4. So
Oh,
that's about pretty average with what we got. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a good episode. It's just it feels out of place. So
Mhm.
it's nice always to meet some new Asgard.
Yeah.
yes,
I'm all about more Asgard. I need to know more about this culture and these beings and what's really going on with them and how much of the ancients knowledge that they still hold and what they do. So
Gene.
anyway, and then the whole Vanir people, Asgard beings in the Pegasus galaxy, what was going on with that? Had to know. Surely they'd had a lot of ancient knowledge themselves.
Mm-hmm.
True. Very
So,
true. And well, next week we're going to be starting season 6, everybody. So buckle up for that. We got a brand new intro, and we're going to have some
Yeah.
brand new thumbnails we're working on, and getting a few extra things all lined up in store for
Mm-hmm.
another round of the Stargate Files. Julia, thank you for joining us this time. You want to
Yeah.
let everybody know where they can find you and anything you got working on right now?
I talk about Stargate on X pretty much exclusively. So you can just follow me on, I mean, we can talk about Stargate all day long on X because I'm just looking at, finding stuff and talking about it. So my X handle is my name, Julia Cozby. I think I'm the only one on X. So you can just come follow me on X and we'll talk about Stargate. I
Absolutely.
also I'm around on all the other places too, but I'm talking mostly about like going out and doing my music and my gigs. So I don't
Nice.
talk about Stargate anywhere else. So just X.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. We greatly
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having
Everybody,
me.
Mhm.
check out Julia, and we will have you back again, and especially
Oh,
for Stargate Atlantis.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Gotta
And
have that.
yep, and Mr. Skeeter.
Yeah, Thursday nights here on the Suns and Shadows Network for Stargate Files. Catch me on Saturday nights for Deadwire Live with Jeff, Kevin, and Chad as we talk everything entertainment. And otherwise, you can find me on socials under Instagram, Facebook, and Threads under the Stargate Files, and on X, Skeeter, the Stargate Files.
Awesome. So thank you everybody for
Cool.
tuning in. You all have a good night. And next week we'll be back with season 6. So Skeeter, send us out of here as we know you
Yeah.
usually like to do.
Come try
Yeah. Hey, listen. Stop by anytime. In fact, I'll take you fishing. I'd love to do that. There's this lake in northern Minnesota where the bass grow that big. Well,
Don't call us. We'll call you.
We better get out of here.
no, really?
No, really.
You will go. Right. You will go.
Think it gets showtime?